Men are ridiculed by dogs every day. Just because he has a celestial body, no woman can accept his original form. After 300 years, he finally broke through to the holy world. So he couldn't bear it and the loving dogs ran away. All the porcelain animals in the mountains moved together. Only one female star thought she could try his original body. The man's name is Li Mei, not a native of this world. He traveled to this world with no system to follow, only a celestial body. So he ran to the land of Lulan, wanting to experience the joy of ancient people. But he was beaten out. He had to bury himself wherever he went just because he was too tough. Even in 2 nursing homes, they had never seen such a person. It's not worth it to be beaten like this, but Li Mei didn't give in. It's obviously what you said. As long as it's not over, you don't have to pay. Wen Yan's 2 nursing homes were even more angry. Go to hell. 7 or 8 girls were stunned by you. What else do you want? Just when Li Mei thought he was leaving this world, a meteor appeared in the sky. The meteor hit the giant stone of Danglu. I only saw a human figure running at high speed. Suddenly, this figure was knocked down by a mysterious object. At the same time, Li Mei also screamed. After the smoke disappeared, a woman was sitting on the ground. Suddenly, she reacted. "Good for you, you beast! How dare you knock me down with a weapon?" Wen Yan and Li Mei didn't blame her. "You are the beast. Your whole family is a beast. It was you who hid it." This made the woman angry enough. "How dare you? Still dare to quibble? Today, I will confiscate your crime tool." But the next second, the woman was stunned. You are the celestial Yunyang." Suddenly, the woman changed her face. "Boy, your chance of life is doomed. But after a contact, I know you very well. I won't see you die. I will pass on your Jiyang magic to you. This Jiyang magic is a thing of the past. It can save your life. But you have to remember, before the Holy Spirit, the celestial Yunyang's body must not be broken. Otherwise, it is difficult to save the saint who died in the grave." After saying that, the woman ran away. So there was the scene at the beginning. Now Li Mei is very happy. He didn't expect to break through. He could also return to his youth and increase his life by 3,000 years. Looking again at his own hands that have been used for 300 years, they were all worn out. So he decided to start a new life. That is, the 7 realms are divided into groups every night. He wants to build a big family. At this time, a summoning array appeared under his feet. So he thought that no matter where it was sent, it would be better than this desolate mountain. So he jumped in. On the other side of the summoning array, a woman was praying to God. She was willing to exchange a year of her life for a strong man to save her people. At the next moment, her wish came true. Just now, Li Mei, who jumped into the summoning array, appeared from the sky. This scared the woman enough, but Li Mei did not care at all. He also gave a perfect score to the woman. Good figure, but it's only 3 points at most. The woman heard Li Mei's words. If it weren't for the moment, she would have been scared to death. She raised her hand and was going to kill this dead pervert who had been summoned. At random, she threw out her strongest move, Wang Ji fight skill, and turned the sky hard. But Li Mei did not care at all. The second mirror still wanted to paint, but before the moment was hit in the face, he was directly knocked down. Then the queen shed tears of sadness, because her ancestor left such an ancient summoning picture, but it was wasted by such a vulgar thing. But Li Mei did not die. It was just a little fierce. At random, Li Mei found that his 300 years of cultivation were gone, but the queen was more fierce than Li Mei. She didn't think of her strongest move. The other party was perfectly intact. In fact, Li Mei was not perfectly intact. It turned into a small fire. Not yet waited for the 2 to play. Longdrew not far away showed a pair of faces. Life and death were connected. Roli was the master, Li Mei was the servant. Hank P was to play. Li Mei recognized at a glance that this was a Tegu contract. At random, he attacked the Tegu contract. At the moment the contract was in effect, Li Mei slapped it. But now his cultivation was restricted. He only modified part of the contract. Now the master-servant relationship has been reversed. Li Mei was the master, Roli was the servant. Then Li Mei angrily accused Roli. "My strength has been dragged down by you. How can I expand my harem life?" When Roli accused, he did not know what to do. This thing did not have a manual. Besides, I don't want to die with you, a dead pervert. Wenyan, Ling Qi was in a bad mood. You have a mouth and a pillow? Are you the emperor? Roly was almost scared to cry. I warn you, hurry up and forget all the candles in your head. I'm not that kind of person. Wenyan, Ling Qi was a bit speechless. This woman didn't seem to be a good person. But it doesn't matter. Let's work together. You are the emperor. How about I open the harem? But Roly said he couldn't do anything. There were still 3,000 concubines in the harem. No dismissal. The eunuch outside the door reported, Your Majesty, it's not good. There is a ghost in the palace. I saw a lot of blood. Wenyan, Roly immediately let the eunuch take him to see. He just wanted to turn around and tell Ling Qi to wait for him here. But the next second was shocked by Ling Qi, because at this time, Ling Qi did not know where the clothes came from. He also ordered Roly to take him to the harem as the master. But Roly didn't want to take him. Ling Qi could only say, It seems that you have some misunderstanding of the master-servant contract. Just in Ling Qi's words, Roly's feet were full of wrinkles. It just tied Roly up in an instant. But Roly didn't listen. But it was just a tough mouth. Then she obediently took Ling Qi to the harem. As for what happened during this period, we don't know. Let's figure it out ourselves. Then the two came to the harem. All the ministers saw the queen coming and knelt down and greeted her. But Roly ignored them and asked directly what the hell was going on. This is what the woman behind Sha Lian said. It's okay to have Jingyan. Huang Yuer is busy with state affairs. Mother, you don't have to worry about it. But the next second, Roly was angry. I said, don't call me Huang Yuer. You don't deserve to be a witch. Then Roly stabbed her. Then Sha Lian showed a woman with a pure color behind her. At that time, Ling Qi was fascinated by her. He said a lot of tiger and wolf words. Wen Yan, the Empress Dowager, was angry. Impudence. Nanny Rong, kill her again. After hearing the order, Nanny Rong released her own skill, Xiao Li Hu Hua Zhen. Fortunately, Ling Qi reacted in time and caught this needle, but Nanny Rong had a back hand. That was to hold hands and watch the sound. She released countless flying needles out at that time, and Ling Qi just came to Nanny Rong's back in an instant and gave her a big beehole. This scared everyone here because Nanny Rong was a 4-level martial arts sect, but in Ling Qi's eyes, a 4-level martial arts sect was just a miscellaneous fish. Suddenly, Roly shouted, "Witch, she is one of us." Wen Yan, the Empress Dowager, changed her expression in an instant. Since it's Jing Ying's people, that's a family. What is the name of the little brother? But Ling Qi said, you haven't seen my brother yet. How can you slander him? Wen Yan, the Empress Dowager, showed a more strange expression. When will you introduce it to me? It was in the Empress Dowager's words. Ling Qi, the Empress Dowager, walked forward. It's better to hit the sun. I'll take you there now. But the Empress Dowager, Roly, was angry. I'm going to die with them. So Ling Qi had to change his words. There is still chance in the future. Let's get down to business first. But Roly still treated the Empress Dowager with no mercy and warned her to pay attention to her words and actions. This also angered the Empress Dowager Ling Shuyan. Dead girl, I'm not your biological mother, but I'm still your father's rightful empress. We work with Huanzong. Your father doesn't mind. What are you doing here? Wen Yan, Ling Qi was in the same place in an instant. Good guy! I didn't expect Roly's father to be a warrior. At this time, Roly also knew that he was incompetent, so it started to shift the topic to the corpse that was killed by the ghost. The picture turned to the palace hall. Everyone had come to the corpse. After Ling Qi saw the corpse, it seemed like he guessed something. Everyone turned to Ling Qi, waiting for him to say the analysis result. But Ling Qi said, was he like this before he died? Wen Yan, Ling Shuyan changed her expression in an instant. Do you also understand the secret of our clan? Ling Qi returned immediately. To be honest, I have a 300-year-old Yunyang Jixu Kyoha in my body. This could kill Roly, and he was going to take out his 40-meter knife. Ling Qi was embarrassed and coughed twice. Let's continue to talk about the corpse. At this time, the old nun next to him said, Ping Ni has a slight understanding of ghosts. Let's leave this matter to Ping Ni. After saying that, he put a fall mess on the corpse. Suddenly, a group of ghosts came out of the corpse. The old nun was stunned at the moment. It was just a moment. He sucked all the ghost into his stomach. Suddenly, the old nun's face showed a frightened look. "Your Majesty, there are more than one ghost on the roof of Xijinling. There are ghosts in the ghost just now, ghosts in the smell of water ghost." Wing Shuyan was shocked in an instant. "I saw only one ghost." But the old nun also said that she would never make a mistake. Suddenly, everyone was shocked again. "Unless these ghosts are synthesized." This could put Lin Ke down. "Synthesize? Are you talking about playing games?" Suddenly, the old nun said that must be the state preacher. He was born in Erlingu. I'm afraid he did what he did today. Queen Roli asked the old nun if we can still track down the female ghost now. The old nun just sensed her. She said that the ghost had not left the palace yet, still lurking in the dark. The Empress Dowager Ling Shuyang also asked, "Can you kill him?" The old nun answered, "That's natural. Everyone wait for the good news of Ping Mei." After saying that, she left the palace. Suddenly, Roli thought, "Will this alert?" But Ling Shuyan said, "People are all famous."
What are you afraid of? The state preceptor has long said his disciples will be in the next month's Enke Top 3. Now his prestige has risen. You're not afraid that one day he'll take your place? Wen Yan, Luo Wei looked at Lin Ke with a happy face. It seems that we have to start first. At that moment, Lin Ke felt anxious. What was this little girl doing? Suddenly, Luo Wei patted Lin Ke on the shoulder. "Young man, are you interested in taking part in the next month's Enke?" This can make Lin Ke speechless. He replied directly that he was not interested, but Luo Wei still didn't give up. "If you beat the disciple of the state preceptor on Enke, then this old witch will reward you. It's okay to play for a few days." As soon as this word came out, it immediately angered Lin Ke and Lin Xuan. They said at the same time, "Who do you think we are?" Luo Wei directly replied, "A green building flower puppet, an evil ghost in color. Aren't you a perfect match?" At this time, Lin Ke whispered to Luo Wei, "Don't forget who is the master and who is the servant." Suddenly, Luo Wei immediately made a big move. "It can meet your 3 unexpected small requirements." Wen Yan, Lin Ke immediately changed his face. "It doesn't matter if you don't ask for it. It's just that I'm more fond of helping people." For Lin Ke's immediate change of attitude, Luo Wei was speechless. At this time, a little eunuch came to report. "Jingyan is a ghost, was badly injured." Wen Yan and 2 people were immediately surprised at the original place. None of them expected the 4 realms of the ghost house to actually be worshipped. But Lin Ke was stunned because he thought the female ghost might be able to bear his body. The picture turned to the garden behind the palace. At this time, the old witch had been beaten to death. All guards spread out to warn. Lin Shuyan saw his disaster. It was also full of fierce force. Jingyan's attitude was clear and clear. How could this be? Suddenly, Lin Ke noticed, "This old woman doesn't seem to be knocked out. It's more like you knocked yourself out." Suddenly, the old witch's mouth moved and rushed to Lin Ke in the next second, shouting in the mouth, "Be careful! I'll leave my first kiss to you!" This could wet all the diapers under Lin Ke. He turned over and gave the old witch a big fart hole. As a monastic, you shouldn't have this in your life. The beaten old witch was instantly awake, but it was full of fierce force. Luo Wei was in a hurry to ask what was going on. "Hurry up and explain to Zhen." At this time, another powerful ghost aura arose in the back garden. This powerful ghost aura could rush straight to Yun Xiao. The guards rushed over immediately, but it was just a moment and they were all blown away. And the 3 people in the distance also sensed the ghost. Before the 3 people went to fight, the old witch shouted to the Empress and His Majesty to be careful. "This ghost has no cultivation. You are evil, can hook the desire of women." But Luo Wei did not care. "Release the Zhenhuang seal directly. Zhen is the emperor of the 95 Zhang Tiansha Zhenhuang. What desire can be in one's body?" At the same time, Lin Shuyan was also a face. "What desire can compare to the desire of me and Huanzong?" After saying that, the 2 women would attack the ghost aura. At this time, the ghost aura also showed the appearance of the female ghost. In the next second, all the ghost aura replaced the female ghost. The sword hit Lin Ke and immediately pulled out the small board and hit the big melon. The queen fought the female ghost and had a good show. Suddenly, a hand reached behind Lin Ke. It turned out that the old witch was disturbed by the ghost again. The old witch wanted to give her 60 years of innocence to Lin Ke, but Lin Ke didn't want it. He turned around and gave the old witch a big, fat beating. Suddenly, Lin Ke noticed that something was wrong. He suddenly turned around and saw Lin Shuyan raise his hand in front of Luo Wei. It turned out that Lin Shuyan was possessed by the female ghost. It was just a few seconds. The two people were completely controlled by the female ghost. I have extraordinary power, just because you want to resist. Suddenly, a drop of blood fell and attracted the attention of the female ghost. She suddenly turned around. That person turned out to be Lin Ke with a sign. It's shameless to give them a score. This could make the female ghost strong enough. Instant kill. Even if he was a person who specialized in cultivating the female ghost, had never seen such a shameless person. But the female ghost was blinded by a drop of blood in the next second. It was just a moment. The female ghost recognized that Lin Ke was a celestial body. If she can match her, isn't it directly flying to the celestial realm? And at this time, Lin Ke was also attracted by the beauty of the female ghost. Just when Lin Ke saw him crooked, the female ghost opened her mouth first. I didn't expect the female ghost to break through the window paper directly. Lin Ke was naturally not afraid of what was coming. Just when they wanted to grind out the fire flower, the first beaten mother and daughter were anxious. The queen was even more anxious to say, "Lin Ke, what do you want? I can give it to you. Don't be confused by the ghost." But Lin Ke would say, "Men are everywhere. How can you give up the whole fish pond for a small fish?" After saying that, Lin Ke hugged the female ghost into his arms. At this time, the female ghost did not expect her plan would go so well. Suddenly, she realized that something was wrong. This man's Yang is not ordinary Yang. Just when the female ghost came in contact with Lin Ke's Yang, the female ghost body began to dissipate in an instant. At this time, the female ghost regretted, "I can only use all my last strength to say, there is no woman in this world who can accept your Yang. You are destined to be lonely and old in this life." After saying that, the female ghost's breath completely dissipated. Only Lin Ke with a fierce face was left. He didn't expect the ghosts in the four realms could not stand his own Yang. At the same time, the mother and daughter were gradually recovering. Luo Wei directly said, "You did a good job just now. We misunderstood you at the beginning. Then Zhen Ben Feng Yu and Yu Qian Tongling should be rewarded." Wen Yan and Lin Ke thought it was not bad. "I just want to be with these two women. I have to cultivate their cultivation. It's a long way to go." The picture turned to the state preceptor's house. The state preceptor was hard at work cultivating. Suddenly, a candle went out. The state preceptor instantly noticed that the bad girl was dead. At this time, there were two ghosts. They directly kneeled and said, "State preceptor, as long as you give the order, let us go to the palace immediately." Wen Yan said not in a hurry. "There seems to be a new guest in the palace. To invite him." At the same time, three people were discussing countermeasures in the back garden of the palace. Lin Shuoyan was so angry that she bit her teeth. "State preceptor, this old man and my enemy are enemies. I'll catch him sooner or later." Wen Yan, Lin Ke's face was glowing. At this time, he was thinking. At this time, Luo Wei also said, "The ambition of the state preceptor has been exposed. Lin Ke, what do you think?" But Lin Ke didn't hear what they were talking about. "In my opinion, the ghost house has been destroyed. Why don't we go back to the harem to rest?" But the next second, Luo Wei rewarded him with a big fart hole. Luo Wei was angry and turned around and left. But Lin Ke was full of face. He didn't know what he was wrong about. So he said to Lin Shuyan again, "Miss Lin, why don't we continue?" But Lin Shuyan said, "Little baby, let's see you another day." At this time, Lin Ke was angry again. He didn't understand why both women left. After a while, an eunuch came to Lin Ke. "Lord, your majesty arranged for me to take you to your mansion." At this time, Lin Ke thought Luo Wei was nice to him, but he didn't know that someone was staring at him. The picture turned to a yard. The eunuch said in a bad voice, "Lord, your mansion is here." Lin Ke looked at such a big mansion. "I thought this was the mansion that Luo Wei gave him." Full of excitement. This could make the eunuch speechless. "Don't you recognize this word?" So he tested and asked, "Look at what this word is." But this really stopped Lin Ke, because he really didn't know the words of this world. But the ghost general didn't believe Lin Ke's nonsense. He was so angry that he exposed his real self and wanted to kill him.
At this time, Lin Ke knew that he had fallen into a trap, but he didn't care. He even insulted his master in front of the ghost general.
Now the ghost general was completely infuriated. I don't want to talk nonsense with Lin Ka anymore. I just want to send him on the road. Lin Ka shot a fire with his finger. He fired it at the ghost general without caring. The ghost general was in the middle of the fire. He was burned to death. It was just a blink of an eye. The ghost general was burned to ashes. Now Lin Ka was in a good mood because he didn't find the mansion that Li Mei gave him. There was also an excuse to go back and find Li Mei to squeeze a blanket to sleep. When he was daydreaming, suddenly there was an explosion behind him. It turned out to be the current state preceptor, and he exaggeratedly claimed that Lin Ka did a good job. He even apologized to Lin Ka, but Lin Ka didn't buy it. He came up and called state preceptor Lao Zamao. The state preceptor was happy. Then he laughed. It turned out that the state preceptor wanted to take Lin Ka as his subordinate. As long as he could ascend the throne, just let Lin Ka be his state preceptor. But the state preceptor didn't know how could Lin Ka be interested in some shit state preceptor position. Lin Ka grabbed the state preceptor directly and asked, "Is there any female ghost?" This could make the state preceptor wet. He didn't expect Lin Ka's level to be so high. Just when the state preceptor didn't know what to do, Lin Ka suddenly changed his face. Then he asked how the state preceptor's female ghost was cultivated. This could make the state preceptor angry enough. Can a state preceptor still not lack a woman? What kind of female ghost do you want? The state preceptor was completely pissed off by Lin Ka's brain. He didn't want to talk nonsense with Lin Ka anymore. He released the ghost aura directly, either subdue or die. But Lin Ka was not afraid at all. He directly replied that he will not be betrayed by the queen. Even if you teach him to cultivate female ghosts now, it's too late. Wen Yan, state preceptor, burst out directly. A punch went out. Lin Ka also raised his fist. Just at the moment of two punches hitting each other, the state preceptor was directly blown out to 10,000 and 8,000 miles. I was immediately pushed into the wall. At this moment, Lin Ka was immediately in shock because the state preceptor in front of him had become a big beauty. And it was the kind of fat, white, beautiful long legs, long hair, wavy waist. Lin Ka had now been so frightened that he couldn't speak. And the big beauty in front of him was thinking his identity has been exposed, how to escape and inform the sex. But at this moment, Lin Ka had come to his body in an instant, and he let the beauty not speak. Lin Ka directly said, "I have been conquered by your great charm. Now, voluntarily join your shadow." But the beauty thought that Lin Ka was insulting her. I just wanted to release the token and run away, but was stopped by Lin Ka. At this time, Lin Ka also wanted to run away with the beauty because he even thought about the names of their two children. Now the beauty couldn't bear it. She released your own secret method directly. 4 ghosts carried a lot of magic. The beauty also said something harsh when she left. "It's not Lin Hanyan if you don't take revenge." But Lin Hanyan forgot her own token when she ran away. Now Lin Ka had decided to find her in the future. He must let Lin Hanyan give birth to a little monkey for him. On the next day, the queen gathered all the talents in the country and entered the palace. There was also a very arrogant person. The queen saw that everyone was here. She directly said that 3 days ago, the disciples of state preceptor Xianxia sat down can cover the 3 seasons before Enka. I don't know if you dare to fight, and I specially invited a master for you to train you. May you all win on Enka. In the words of the queen, the arrogant person just walked in front of Lin Ka. My father is the most knowledgeable person in Dongua, if you need to train your family and fake outsiders. Lin Ka just wanted to release the token. The old eunuch next to him stopped him and said that this person was the son of Taifu. He has admired the queen for a long time. At that time, Lin Ka understood everything. It turned out to be another one who wanted to eat soft rice. As soon as this word came out, everyone on the spot was speechless. Tian Yi was so angry that he cursed, "You fart. How could I have an idea about the emperor?" But Lin Ka said, "Do you think the emperor looks ugly? Even the fart that you farted can't compare." Tianyi really couldn't bear it. He went up and attacked Lin Ka. But Tianyi really overestimated himself. Lin Ka was just a spring, just knocked him out. Now it was time for Lin Ka to take the lead. So he said to the people below, "Although I promised the emperor to train you, but not everyone is taught, so be honest with me in the future." The talents below Wen Yan were instantly stunned by Lin Ka's power. Then Lin Ka let the talents sit on the support. Although everyone said that they were not convinced, I dared not to listen. Everyone was lying on the ground. Lin Ka knew today's purpose has been achieved. So when it comes to the first love with brother so-and-so, brother Juji, others disbanded. It turns out these two people are not called Genso and Juji. It's just that Lin Ka is nicknamed by their appearance. The two people thought Lin Ka was going to train them, but they didn't know that Lin Ka had changed his face in an instant. Speaking of many talents, I can see at a glance that the two of them are the people of the golden flag. I will change you right away. After saying that, Lin Ka took two people and left. He also asked the biggest red building in the capital what's its name, completely ignored the people behind. Tianyi was even more angry with his face. Then the three people came to Chunfeng Lao. The two people thought Lin Ka was going to train them here, but they didn't know that Lin Ka was just here to show off. Lin Ka also said that all the consumption today was paid by Mr. Lo. There was a sudden splash in the palace of Lo Wei, and the dance performance in Chunfeng Lao had begun. Everyone's eyes were on a girl named Han Sang. This girl, named Han Sang, was the first flower girl in the capital. Suddenly, a young man came out of the room in the second floor. He just left a banknote just to get the eyes of Han Sang. Everyone on the stage recognized it at once. That person was the third disciple of the state preceptor, Hua Jiyu, the best in the name of flowers. At this time, Lin Ka said to his two followers, "It is better to sneak up on others than to improve yourself." In fact, Lin Ka's heart just wanted to play. I don't want to sneak up on anyone. But now Lin Ka's face was still a little hung up. So I want to let Han Sang continue to play music and dance. But I was hit in the face in an instant. The person next to him said that Mr. Hua, but Han Sang was the top of the gold bar. As long as he showed up, Han Sang had to thank Mr. Hua. At the same time, Han Sang really brought a pot of wine and came to Hua Jiyu. I heard that Mr. Hua is going to participate in the next round of Enka. Han Sang offers a cup to Mr. Hua. Wish Mr. Hua a gold medal. Wenyan Hua Jiyu also stood up and turned around. I am just a student. What kind of high-level special training is only said by the emperor? It's not worth mentioning. If Han Sang is interested, why don't we talk to me in depth? But Hua Jiyu didn't know that Lin Ka was listening under the stage. This could offend Lin Ka to death. He just bit his teeth, rushed to the second floor directly, ready to clean up Hua Jiyu. Genso and Juji still wanted to go up to help, but because he didn't pay for the wine, he was stopped by the second son. The picture turned to the second floor. Hua Jiyu was drinking a bottle of wine. Just when he wanted to communicate with all the girls, a 48-mine back foot kicked open his door. Lin Ka shouted directly. The leader of the inner palace swiped hollow. All hold their heads and squat down. Wenyan, the few girls were scared to pee, all wet. Hua Jiyu was even more excited, and it took a long time to react. What kind of dog is the leader of the inner palace? Take a good look at who Grandpa is. Wenyan Lin Ka looked at Hua Jiyu with a smile. Aren't you just a little trash? I advise you to give this place to me. Otherwise, you can't escape this one-on-one fight. Hearing Lin Ka's words, Hua Jiyu, who has always been overbearing, how can he not be angry? He threw out the cup in his hand and attacked the other party. But Lin Ka didn't care about this little fight. He just smashed the cup with his finger, then a shadowed step rushed to Hua Jiyu.
At the same time, he said that your He Huanjian Kiwei was really bad. Didn't the doctor teach you the method of breathing and breathing? When Yan Huayi was stunned again, he asked fiercely, "Who are you?" I haven't waited for Lin Qi to answer. Hua Jiyu immediately used his own Xiao Zhao Gong. Suddenly, the two people's energy collided. Lin Qi said again, Can you do it, playing dog? Then Lin Kei turned his head and looked at the woman who was hiding. How about this? You make a big move on the side. I'll go over there and do something urgent. This sentence almost spit out Hua Jiyu's breath. Just when the two of them fought again, someone outside shouted. The emperor went out to investigate the people's situation. The idle people quickly retreated. Wen Yan Lin Kei was shocked. So I thought that there must be a dog betraying me. And at this time, Lo Wei had brought everyone to Chu Feng Lu. Jiang Tanyi, who had just finished packing up with Lin Kei, was still with him. At this time, Lo Wei asked, "Are you sure that Lin Kei and Texun students are all in it?" Jiang Tanyi's respectful answer was very certain. Lin Kei is bold and bold to attack Jisai, disrupting Texun's talent. No killing is not based on reputation. When Yen Lo Wei's face was black, "Go in and have a look." At this time, Jiang Tanyi showed his face full of shock. "I didn't expect Lin Kei. You're in my hands so soon." After a moment, all the people in Chunhua Tua were brought out by the soldiers. Even Hua Jiyu was among them. But I didn't find Lin Kei and the others, so Lo Wei asked Jiang Tanyi unhappily, "Jiang Aiting, how do you explain now?" Seeing the queen angry, Jiang Tanyi was sitting on the ground with his ass down. He didn't know that deceiving the emperor was a capital crime. Suddenly, Lo Wei found a familiar face among these people, so when it comes to Lu Gonggong, it seems a little familiar. Lu Gonggong directly replied, "This person is a disciple of the state priester, Hua Jiyu. It is always said that the capital city is the most romantic and talented." Wen Yan Lo Wei was very angry. As a disciple of the state priester, he was so eager to learn. At this time, the waitress's aunt was even more shocked. It was directly said that we were all threatened by him. Or for a moment, Lu Gonggong directly announced, "Pass on the imperial edict. Hua Jiyu was a tramp, damaged the prestige. It is easy to deprive the status of talent and drive out of the capital." At this time, Lo Wei was in a good mood. Lin Kei really didn't let me down. Now another disciple of the state priester. It's like God is helping me. But Lo Wei never thought. Just at the moment he opened his eyes, it just so happened to have a counterpart with Lin Kei who was running away.